I'm Ed Hegan, a former New York City firefighter and a meditation coach. And I help people deal with stress and find peace by understanding their emotions and learning to regulate their nervous system. I'm also a peer mentor with Guardian Revival, a nonprofit with the aim of improving the mental health and wellness of our veteran and first responder community. If you want to learn more about our programs and services, visit guardianrevival.org. And remember, you are never alone. Today's meditation is about releasing stuck emotions. And although it's geared primarily toward the veteran and first responder community, this meditation is helpful for anyone that wants to release stuck emotions. Now, I've broken down the video into a few parts. First, I'm going to talk about the damaging effects that chronic stress has on our minds and bodies. Then I'm going to talk a bit about how we were never really taught to fully understand and express our emotions in a healthy way. And then we're going to do some breath work into a guided meditation. And be sure to stay tuned till the end because we're actually going to release some stuck emotions. So my hope is by the end of this video, you feel a little bit lighter and a little bit better. And if you know or love someone that would benefit from this message, please share, like, and subscribe. As a firefighter here in Brooklyn, New York, I was highly trained to help people that were facing their worst nightmare. And we were trained by the best firefighters in the world. A lot of our training was informed by those that made the ultimate sacrifice and were killed in the line of duty. And I'm deeply grateful for the sacrifices of those that helped us become better firefighters and keep us safe. They taught us everything from how to drive the fire truck, to putting up ladders, cutting open roofs, cutting people out of cars, breaking down doors, doing search and rescue. They taught us how to take care of each other on the fire floor and make sure that no one was left behind. I remember when I first got to the firehouse, I wore my bunker gear all the time. I was ready to go. I was in a constant state of response mode. And it was part of doing my job well, was to be ready to do my job. And I loved it. I loved being ready to go to work. And after years, you start to experience some things. You start to see things that most people will never see. They say that the average person experiences approximately 6 incidents of trauma in their lifetime. And we could experience 6 incidents of trauma in one night tour. And you would see things that sometimes you couldn't get out of your memory. The death, destruction, the damage, fire, collapse, car accidents, decapitations, people that take their own lives, children that are injured or killed, and the pain and anguish on the faces of their loved ones. And it starts to wear on you. It changed me. I noticed after several years that I wasn't really dealing with the emotions of what I was experiencing. I would just really suppress, repress, or depress it, or pour booze on it, or drink about it. And I guess that worked until it didn't, because the effects of alcohol after a while become so damaging, they actually make the situation worse. And I noticed myself being kind of stuck in response mode, stuck in this fight or flight mode. See, our nervous systems as first responders are kind of unique because we get stuck in these response modes. And it can make us angry, irritable, exhausted, on edge, feeling stuck, like on the edge of burnout. And if I wasn't fired up and angry or irritable, I would be the opposite sometimes. I would be exhausted with brain fog and fatigue and just feeling burnt out. And I noticed it would start to spill out over into the rest of my relationships. It really took away my ability to show up as the best version of myself. And I continued to use unhealthy patterns of addiction, using alcohol in a very unhealthy way. And I realized that I needed to make a change. Because if not, I felt like this was going to destroy me. And it was destroying my health, my mental health, my physical health, and it was destroying my relationships. And I knew I needed to make a change. And so I learned to understand my mind, my body, my emotions, and how our bodies respond to stress. And Before, I was really irritable, angry, and on edge. And after I learned to process my emotions and release stuck emotions, I feel more peaceful, relaxed, and grounded. And I feel like a better version of myself. And so even if you have all the things outside of yourself dialed in, you have your diet, your sleep, your exercise, all on point, if you're still feeling a little overwhelmed, like you're carrying something, you may have some stuck emotions. And as they say, you got to feel it to heal it. So sometimes you just have to learn how to understand, process, and integrate some of the things that we're learning about our body, our emotions, and our nervous system. As children, most of us were never taught how to identify, understand, or express our emotions in a healthy way. When I was a kid, if I would cry, I'd be told, "I'll give you something to cry about." Or I'd be given a quick smack, or teased or made fun of by the other kids. So I learned from a very young age that it was not safe to show tears to other people, or to express sadness, or fear, or grief, or any kind of weakness, especially as a young boy. You see, our parents did the best they could with what they had to make us tough and resilient in a world that was often cruel and unforgiving. But if we notice that repressing and suppressing these emotions as an adult is having a negative impact on our lives, it's up to us to break the cycle. If we don't break the cycle and we continue to repress and suppress our emotions, they're going to manifest themselves in some unhealthy and ugly ways. Through dysfunction, physical dysregulation, disease, or it's going to manifest itself as addiction, trying to soothe the pain of not expressing these emotions. So we need to break the cycle and reparent our wounded inner child. We need to create a sense of safety inside and outside of us, allowing ourselves to feel what needs to be felt. We need to make sure we treat ourselves with kindness, compassion, love, acceptance, and patience. As veterans and first responders, we need to retrain and recondition our brains, our bodies, and our nervous systems out of being in this hypervigilant state of fight or flight and response mode and go more into a calm, relaxed, grounded, and peaceful state. We need to create an inner sanctuary where we can do this work. Think of it as a gym for your mind. Just like you'd go to the gym to make your body strong, healthy, fit, flexible, we can also practice self-care through meditation and breathwork, like a gym for our mind, where we can practice emotional resilience, kindness, compassion, and forgiveness for ourselves. And then we can share that with other people. It's so important that we create this inner sanctuary, allowing ourselves to feel all the things that need to be felt. You're a full spectrum human being. You're allowed to feel all your emotions, including grief, sadness, and fear. And so we have to create this inner sanctuary where we feel safe enough to feel everything and anything and know that we can handle anything that we're feeling. So let's drop into this inner sanctuary and practice some meditation and breath work right now. I'd like you to find a spot where you can sit that's quiet and comfortable, even if you have to pause this video and come back to it. Find a spot that's quiet, comfortable, and where you'll be undisturbed for a little while. And I'd like you to just settle in and get comfortable. Lean back, settle in your body, roll out your neck a little bit. Put your right hand over your heart and your left hand over your belly. And close your eyes. And I want you to just listen to the sound of my voice. I want you to breathe nice and slowly through your nose. But I want you to make your belly rise. And what I mean is, I want you to make your belly button move away from your spine. In this way, you're taking a deep breath into the belly using the diaphragm. And this can be very relaxing. And after we take the belly breath, we're going to take in a little more air into our lungs. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. and then we're going to blow it out like smoke. Slowly. So, exhale all the air in your lungs. Inhale slowly through the nose. Fill the belly. Fill the lungs. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out like smoke. Inhale slowly through the nose. Fill the belly. Fill the chest. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release like smoke. Inhale slowly through the nose. Fill the belly. Fill the chest. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Last one. Inhale slowly through the nose. Fill the belly. Fill the chest. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now just breathe normally. Continue to breathe in through the belly if it feels comfortable. And now scan the body. Starting at the top of the head, we'll scan down through the face. Open up your jaw and rock it side to side. Notice your neck and your shoulders. Notice your arms and your hands. Notice your chest and your belly. Notice your pelvis and your hips. Notice your quads and your calves and your feet and your toes. Notice your toes and your feet again. Notice your calves and your quads, your hips, your pelvis, your belly, your chest, your arms, your hands, your neck, your head. And now, imagine as your heart beats and as you breathe in and out of your lungs, that there's a sphere around your body, like a planet. And just pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Notice if you feel any tightness or tension. Notice if you feel any emotions, any feelings. Now, there's no need to name the emotion. You can just even ask yourself, what am I feeling? Maybe it feels like tightness or tension. Maybe it feels like little heat or warmth. Do you know what that feeling is? Is it sadness? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it fear? Is it regret? What are you feeling? If you notice any tension or tightness, release it and let it go. Now recognize that some of these feelings might be years or decades old. And they might feel a little stuck or tight, but they're not in there with super glue or Velcro. So, for the first time, you're actually not numbing and distracting yourself. You're giving yourself permission to feel these feelings, to let go of this tension, to loosen up this tightness. And maybe now, if you recognize there's a spot, there's a feeling that you're having, where is this spot in your body? Can you release that tension? As you breathe in slowly through the nose, can you breathe in loving kindness? Can you release the stress and tension? Can you notice this area and breathe in acceptance and loving kindness? Can you release stress and tension? Can you breathe in compassion and forgiveness? Can you exhale and release? Can you simply allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt? Can you let it go as you exhale? There's no right or wrong. Just allow yourself to feel whatever needs to be felt. Whatever's coming up is okay. You may feel warmth, heat. You may want to cry or sigh. Just allow whatever needs to happen. If you need to move a little bit, if you need to stretch a little bit, just notice what you're feeling in your body and be kind and loving and compassionate to yourself and let yourself feel whatever needs to be felt. It's okay. It doesn't belong to you anymore. A lot of it's built up from the past, from things that have happened a long time ago that had nothing to do with you. You just happened to be there. It was part of your job. And so you experienced it, you witnessed it, and you took it inside of you. And even if it did belong to you, but it's in the past, can you breathe in forgiveness and acceptance? And can you release it and let it go? Can you make friends with these emotions and face these demons and be gentle with yourself and give yourself permission to feel these emotions? These emotions are guides that try to keep you safe by warning you of danger and fear. But you don't need to feel these feelings of this child anymore. This child is safe now. You are safe now, inside and out. You're safe to experience life. You can handle anything that comes your way. And you're safe to experience any emotions that come up. And you can just feel them, and you can let go what no longer belongs to you. And it may feel a little uncomfortable, but by releasing this, you will feel freer, lighter, healthier, and more open. And you will carry this into the rest of your life. And you are building the foundational bricks of an inner sanctuary where you will create health and well-being, where you will clear the past, where you will forgive those that have wronged you, and you will forgive yourself and let go of what no longer belongs to you. And you can even rub your chest a little bit and your belly, and you can thank your body and your emotions and your nervous system, and give yourself some gratitude for your protection and your love and your kindness and your compassion. And you can journal after this, or you can just stay there for a little while and feel what needs to be felt. You can write down some things that have come to you. In the future, you can learn to just drop the story and ask yourself, what am I feeling? You can tap into this new skill. You can go to this inner sanctuary anytime you want. And you can come back to this guide anytime you want and go through the process of stopping, grounding yourself, connecting to your body, feeling what needs to be felt, and releasing it. Because a lot of these feelings don't belong to you anymore. A lot of it is releasing fear and trauma that belong to other people. And I know this may be new to you, but recognize that there are a lot of people, a lot of veterans and first responders out there carrying a lot of trauma and stress from their job for years and decades, and they need to let this go because it's really unhealthy. And you can actually be the change. You can actually become a peer. You can break the stigma. You can show that there is strength in asking for help by daring to support and be vulnerable, and tell people that you've been releasing your emotions and your sadness and your grief and your fear, and you've been letting go of the things that you've been holding on to for way too long that have been making you sick and becoming toxic in your life. You've made a choice to be healthier and let go of what no longer belongs to you. You see, although it's not your fault that you've taken on a lot of this stress and trauma, it is your responsibility to fix it. And the future generation of our children and other first responders are going to look up to you for how you deal with your stress and your trauma. And this is the gift that we give. If you can show up for yourself and do the work, it will be a direct reflection of how you show up for others. That will be the gift that you give to the world by showing up to your spouse, your friends, your family. And at work, you can show up more grounded and regulated as a professional to do your job to the best of your ability, because you're not carrying around a bunch of stuck trauma that's been in there for years. Because every day you drop in and do the work to release these stuck emotions. So I'm proud of you for sticking with me through this. I know it's not easy to confront these old emotions, especially the ones from childhood that have been in there for a long time. And really the way that we take care of ourselves is the way that we take care of each other. The way that we take care of ourselves and love ourselves is the way that we're going to show up and love each other. And if you want to learn more about meditation and breathwork and different tools to learn how to regulate your emotions and create inner peace, if you want to learn more about one-on-one coaching, custom guided meditations, you can book a free discovery call at edwoodstock.com. And just remember, you are loved and whole and complete and appreciated for your service and sacrifice. We are grateful for your service.